Hey, Chris. Um, Last week you had Lily Eskelson Garcia on your program, and you stated twice that if it only weren't for the teachers' unions, our kids would be back in school because the studies have shown that schools are not foci of transmission. And Chris, I got to tell you that I was deeply offended by your comments. Um, as a high school teacher, since last March, um, I've been giving it 100% my all, um, and to without exaggeration, I have been working 10 to 12 hour days every work day and at least one weekend day. Okay, and we understand as teachers the effect that this is having on our children. We understand better than anybody. We went into this profession because we wanted to help students, and in many of our cases because we believe in equity through education, and we know what this has done to our students. And you know we can't help solve the problem if we're dead. It's going to take a massive federal response to undo the damage that has been done, and we know that better than anybody. This has been my life's work. I'm 53 years old. This has been my life's work. Can you imagine watching your life's work be undone because of a mismanaged, uncontrolled federal response to a pandemic? Because that is my situation, and I'm very angry about that, if you can't tell. And I know that when we listen to teachers, we can tell you what we think can happen for our students, but our voice has to be heard. In all of this pandemic, the predictions have been right. When they said there'd be 120,000 people dead by Christmas, we surpassed that. We're now hearing there will be 450,000 people, 450,000 Americans dead by March. Okay? So if you're me, you're not going to go back in an uncontrolled pandemic into a classroom with students who are often asymptomatic with the mask that your grandma made you or the one you bought off Etsy, right? You can't do that, Chris. As teachers, we want to go back to our classrooms. We want to go back when it's safe. Okay? It's safe for us. It's safe for the families that we work with. Just since Sunday, today's Wednesday, since Sunday, I've had 3 students tell me that they have tested positive for COVID. One of those students would have definitely been in my classroom if we were working with a small group of students who are facing extreme difficulties. Okay, I would definitely have been exposed to COVID. And then what do? Right? None of us are happy about this, Chris, but I'm taking back the narrative. Your kids are not in school. Your kindergartner is not in school because of the teachers' unions. We're done with that. We're done with that, Chris. We're done with the unions taking the blame for everything. Your kids are back in school, or your kids are out of school because of an uncontrolled, mismanaged pandemic that is now surging. And if you want to help solve the problem, then you need to listen to teachers' voices, because we're the ones in the trenches and we know what to do. People listen to doctors. Doctors get all this experience and they share techniques that can help cure or mitigate the effects of COVID-19. But teachers, we just get top-down solutions that don't work. Now, Chris, I give you an F for your program and your take on the education crisis. Ms. Garcia, with all due respect, because you might be the next Secretary of Education, perhaps you weren't prepared for the question. Your response was okay, emerging. You did say that perhaps teachers were just concerned for their personal safety and the safety of their communities and families. You didn't stay it strong enough. Teachers want you to take back the narrative. We are not the problem. We're not the problem. I don't know how to say it in other words, but we're not going to take it anymore. And I hope I'm heard.